Hello, everyone, and welcome to College Football 27 Dynasty Mode. This is episode 2 of the Elias Moore story. Today, we are going to be playing through the regular season of season 1. In this episode, you will again hear the voice of an AI character used to continue the story behind Elias Moore. However, I will be commentating the games played. There will be one more episode to conclude this series as we begin our True Dynasty series after that. The team rebuild will be in episode 3, where we will continue to watch the career of Elias Moore. Again, I am a new content creator and I welcome all feedback. If there is anything else you would like to know, or if you're interested in more content, leave a comment on the video. And without further ado, let's get into episode 2 of Coach Elias Moore. And here comes Coach Elias Moore and the Buckeyes for the first possession of the new year. We have a dynamic duo in the backfield with Julian Sand and Bo Jackson in the backfield this year, along with star wideouts Jeremiah Smith and right there, Brandon Ennis. There should be a lot of firepower this year. On 3rd and 6 at Ball State's 44, Julian Sand steps back to pass. He's scrambling and he goes down. It's a sack for Ball State. And that's a quick 3 and out. The Buckeyes do get the ball back for the offense at Ball State's 3-yard line, but they lose yards on an RPO pass out to number 3, Devin McEwen. Now with the 2nd and goal at the 6, let's see if they can go ahead and punch it in. They hand it off to Bo Jackson, and he's in for a touchdown. The first touchdown of the year for Coach Elias Moore and the Buckeyes goes to star running back Bo Jackson. After a stop by the defense, Ohio State has it 3rd and 8 deep in their own territory. Sand steps back to throw. He has a man deep. It's Ennis. He catches it. First down, Ohio State. I know it's early in the season, but so far these two have a really good connection. 2nd and 10. Sand steps back to throw again. He throws to Ennis, but he overthrows him by a few yards. That would have been huge if they could have connected there, but instead it's 3rd and 10. Let's see what Coach Marr has planned. Sand again steps back to throw, and it's intercepted. Julian Sand throws an interception, his first of the season. Let's see if that gives Ball State a spark, as their offense will start in plus territory after that pick. That will take us to the end of the first quarter as the Buckeyes lead 7-0. Here's a look at the stats. Our defense is looking pretty solid, but Coach Martin's offense has had a slow start. Let's see if in the second quarter they can get it together. The defense does hold up and gets the ball back to the offense without allowing a score. On 3rd and 6, Sand steps back to throw and this time hits his target. That is superstar wideout Jeremiah Smith. A little later in the possession, it's 3rd and 4 at the 11 as Sand steps back to throw and it's caught. Touchdown, Bucks! That was wide receiver number 3, Devin McEwen, a senior. Up 14-0, Buckeyes with the ball in plus territory. Sand steps back to throw and hits his target again. That is Devin McEwen. Julian Sand so far has 111 yards, 1 touchdown, and that pick that he threw earlier. It's 2nd and 2 at the 4 with under 5 minutes left to go in the half. Sand will take the snap in a gun, hands it to Bo Jackson, and he runs it in for his 2nd touchdown on the day. It looks like Coach Marr and the Buckeyes' offense is getting into a groove after the slow start, now leading 21-0. After Ball State kicks a field goal, Ohio State marches back down the field looking to score again. Sand takes a snap, he hands it off, and he crosses the pylon. He's in. Touchdown, Bucks. That was running back DJ Cross, a freshman out of Perrysburg, Ohio. This time the handoff goes to Jackson, but not Bo Jackson, it's Jacoby Jackson, a senior out of Pensacola, Florida. What a spin move by Jackson. He sets up a 40-yard field goal for the kicker, and this one is getting out of hand quickly. As we head towards the half, the score is 31-3, Ohio State. The Buckeyes start the second half with the ball at their own 25. Sand takes a snap, steps back to throw. He scrambles around. Then he launches it down the field. He has a man. It's Smith. He catches it and takes it down to the 44-yard line. What a play by Sand. Still leading 31-3. The Buckeyes come to the line as Sand will take the snap under center. He takes the snap, hands it to Jacoby Jackson, who has a lane. The 10, the 5, touchdown, Bucks. The Buckeyes look like they are going to run away with this one as they throw another touchdown pass. Again, that's saying to Ennis. What a connection these two guys had all day. And that would just about do it for the Buckeyes. They were subbing their backups as the starters needed to preserve their energy for the next game, as they're taking on ranked Texas next week. And that game is in Texas. Coach Marr and the Buckeyes took care of business in week 1. The Buckeyes have a huge game coming up in week 2 as they take on Arch Manning and the number 6 ranked Texas Longhorns. Critics are even saying that this could possibly be the game of the year. Both teams enter the game 1-0, but only one team will leave undefeated. Buckeyes, Longhorns, next. It's a hot one out there today as the weather is 101 degrees Fahrenheit. Texas kicks it away, and here we go. Buckeyes elect to take a knee, and that means here comes Coach Marr and the Ohio State offense as we take a look at Sand's numbers from last week. This crowd isn't ranked number 13 in the country for no reason. This stadium is rocking. The first snap is a handoff to Bo Jackson as the Buckeyes try to set the tone early, giving them a gain of 7 on the play. And as you can see there, the capacity in this stadium is 100,119 people. I will bet my life savings that every seat in this stadium is filled today. On 2nd and 3, it's another handoff to Jackson, but this time he's stuffed as he just gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe even a gain of 1. So that brings up 3rd and 2. But there's a flag on the play. After that false start, it's now 3rd and 7, and this crowd is already causing all types of problems for the Buckeyes. Sand steps back to throw, and he hits his target. That's Devin McEwen. He takes it for a huge gain. A few plays later, it's 3rd and 6, and the Buckeyes are in the gun. Sand steps back to throw, and he checks it down to his tight end, but it would not be enough for the first down. That brings up 4-2, and the Buckeyes offense stays on the field as they are not looking to settle for three. Sayin after the hard count receives the snap and is looking to throw. He throws it, and that's Jeremiah Smith, his superstar receiver. Can't go wrong with targeting him. The Buckeyes find themselves with a 1st and 10 at the Longhorns' 11-yard line. Sayin puts a man in motion and then receives the snap. Tosses it to the back, but that play gets blown up quick. Sayin comes out with an empty backfield looking to convert on 3rd and 15. He receives the snap looking to throw. He checks it down to his receiver across the middle, but that will not be enough, and that brings up a 4th and long. The Buckeyes decide to take the field goal and they strike first. 3-0 Buckeyes. And here comes the Texas Longhorns in their dynamic backfield with Arch Manning and Hollywood Smothers as they look to tie or take the lead. Unable to put points on the board, Texas gives it back to the Ohio State's offense. The back takes the handoff, makes a good move, breaks another tackle, and finally goes down, but not before gaining a 1st down. On 3rd and 7, Sayin steps back to throw. He can't find anyone open. He throws it incomplete. 4th down. We move on to later in the 1st quarter, and it is still 3-0 Buckeyes. Ohio State has the ball on the Longhorns' 49-yard line. The back takes the handoff and gains a 1st down. Great run. On 3rd and 4, the Buckeyes are threatening to score. Sayin surveys the defense in the gun. He takes the snap and is looking to throw. He throws it to a receiver and he lays out and catches it. Oh my, what an acrobatic catch that was. That will take us to the end of the 1st quarter as the score is Ohio State 3, Texas 0. Here's a look at the 1st quarter stats. Ohio State's defense has really been stepping it up so far this year, holding the Texas Longhorns to a total of 6 yards through the 1st quarter. At the start of the 2nd quarter, the Buckeyes are looking at 2nd and goal, hoping to gain the game's 1st touchdown. Sayin steps back to throw, hits his tight end who can't quite make it in. 3rd down. You have to wonder if this is 4-down territory since a field goal here keeps it a 1-possession game. Sayin steps back to throw, and I guess you will have to keep wondering because he throws a touchdown. That's number 3, Devin McEwen. Touchdown, Bucks. After the defense gets another stop and a great punt return, the Buckeyes start the drive in plus territory at the 34-yard line looking to strike again. Sayin hands it off to the back, and that's another great run by this Ohio State backfield. The Buckeyes come to the line on 3rd and 6 looking to convert. They are still able to pick up a 1st down, however. Sayin steps back to throw, and he hits his receiver, and he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Bucks. Texas was able to go down and put 3 on the board, so now the score is 17-3 Buckeyes. Sayin is surveying the field. He has all day to throw. He finally throws it to an open man, and that's Jeremiah Smith. With less than 2 minutes left in the half, on 3rd and 8, Sayin snaps the ball, looking to throw yet again. He overthrows his receiver, but there is a flag, and it looks like the defender is going to get called for holding. No, it's holding on an offensive line, and Brutus can't believe it. The Buckeyes are able to make it a 3-possession game with that field goal, and we will take it to halftime with the score Ohio State 20, Texas 3. Texas, unable to do anything with their 1st possession of the 2nd half, find themselves up against the wall as Ohio State is threatening at their 29-yard line. And Bo Jackson, a name we haven't heard much of this game, breaks a big one. Ohio State now has a 3rd and 7 as Sayin is set to receive the snap in the gun. He goes back looking to throw, can't find an open man and gets drilled as he just gets that one away. Ohio State takes another field goal, making the score 23 Ohio State, 3 Texas. Texas is able to score a touchdown, but after a missed extra point, Texas is now down 14. Sand gets set under center and hands it to Bo Jackson, who hasn't really been able to get anything going today. Another short gain for number 25, the superstar running back. They hand it to Jackson again, and this time he's able to find some room for a big gain. As we move along, Sand steps back to throw. He surveys the field and he gets it to none other than number 3, Devin McEwen, one of his favorite targets. But that will take us to the end of the first quarter. The score, Ohio State 23, Texas 9. To start the fourth quarter, Ohio State is looking at a 3rd and 7. Sand takes the snap and hand it off, and there is some room, and that will be good enough for a 1st and goal for Ohio State. Unable to punch it in on the first 2 downs, Ohio State is looking at a 3rd and goal from the 6. Sand takes the snap out of the gun and is looking to throw. He hits Jeremiah Smith, who is fighting to get in, and he does it! Touchdown, Bucks! Texas fans were not prepared for this today as Ohio State takes a commanding lead here in the fourth quarter. But as we know, the game is not over yet, as Texas storms back to once again make this a 2-possession game with just under 8 minutes left. Sand hands it to the back, and that's another big run for a 1st down. On 3rd and 11, Sand steps back to throw, but he overthrows his intended target, making it 4th down, causing Ohio State to punt it back to the Longhorns. Fortunately for the Buckeyes, Texas was unable to make anything happen. And with just 1 minute and 34 seconds remaining, the Buckeyes will look to run out the clock. After forcing Texas to use all of their timeouts, it was 4th and 10. And the punter does an amazing job putting it right at the 4-yard line. And with that, time would run out and Ohio State would win the game, 30-16, beating Texas for the 2nd straight year.
Coach Marr and his offense was on fire, putting up points with ease. The next few games were cake. They beat Kent State by a score of 41-3, took on Illinois in the rivalry, and took home the trophy. With a record of 4-0 and a top 10 opponent under their belt, Ohio State looked unstoppable. Was it luck? Or did Coach Marr really have what it took to coach at this level? The next test for Ohio State came against the number 21 Iowa Hawkeyes. Iowa had proven to be one of the better teams up to this point, and they were ready to show the world just who they were. Ohio State knew they were headed in hostile territory once again, except this time, the weather conditions didn't make it any better. Finding themselves down late in the game and the offense unable to find its footing, Coach Marr and the Ohio State Buckeyes found themselves desperate. The quarterback stepped back to throw. Interception. Ohio State's chances were hanging on by a thread. Iowa took advantage of that opportunity and made it a 2-possession game. There was still time remaining, but an overthrow, a backwards play, and a check down made it seem impossible. To be honest, the play calling this game was questionable at best. Did Coach Marr lose trust in his team's abilities? Or did he just allow himself to give in to the hype and get too cocky? Whatever it was, the team started losing hope. Able to score late, Ohio State made the score look better, but would ultimately lose the game by a score of 32-27, suffering their first loss of the season. What makes this loss hurt even more is that now Ohio State has lost a conference game, making their conference championship dreams uncertain. Ohio State was able to bounce back the next week, pouncing on Maryland, beating them by a score of 45-3, and look to shift back into gear with their upcoming game against the defending national champions, Indiana Hoosiers. Once again, the offense started slow, being held to 0 points in the first quarter and only 40 yards of total offense. Ohio State would find themselves down 16-0 with under 5 minutes left in the first half. The stars and role players all had to show up if they wanted to get back in this game. Scoring 2 times, Ohio State was able to make it a one-possession game before the end of the first half. With both teams scoring once in the third, it was a 2-point game heading into the fourth. Would Coach Marr and the Ohio State Buckeyes overcome adversity, or would they once again fall to another ranked team? Ohio State strikes first, taking a field goal, giving them a 1-point lead. But Indiana would bounce right back, scoring a touchdown and converting on a 2-point conversion. Ohio State marched right back down the field to tie up the game. This was turning into an instant classic. With Indiana unable to score with their possession, Ohio State was set to strike again. Touchdown! Bucks take the lead 38-31. Ohio State seemed like they had taken control over the game. Marching down the field, Ohio State had taken the lead and had no thought of giving it back. Then it happened. Interception. Pick 6 by Indiana to tie the game back up. What a play by Indiana, but a horrible play call and decision by Coach Marr and his quarterback. Looking to regroup, the team gets back into position to score, hoping they are able to close this one out late in the fourth. The score was 38-38 with under 2 minutes. Coach Marr wanted to end it on this drive. So, Marr forces Indiana to take their final 2 timeouts, leaving the game on the kicker's foot. With one final run to put the ball near the middle of the field, the kicker comes out to put a nail in the coffin. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, it goes in! Disaster is avoided and Ohio State wins the game. The next 2 games were also close. The first game being against USC and the following week being against Oregon. USC was the next game, as it was a close one late. Ohio State, up 3, runs the ball late on 3rd and 2. With under a minute remaining and USC having no timeouts, Ohio State would win the game, scoring one more final touchdown, ultimately winning the game 41-31. Oregon was another tough one as it came down to the final possession, but Ohio State would also win this one with the final score of 24-21. Almost at the end of the year, Ohio State beat Northwestern and Nebraska very convincingly, getting back to how they began the season. There was one game remaining. Yes, that game. A rivalry so big that it shuts down 2 states for a whole week. Michigan versus Ohio State. Next.